last video I did following sunset, this last image that I took actually turned out to be my most popular right now. So I thought I'd actually go over how I edited it. I only used Lightroom to do it, and I thought it'd be cool to show you guys what I did. So yeah, let's just get into this and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, so as you can see, this is the original image and it's pretty much really dark. As I said in the video, I was trying to bring back my shutter speed a little lower, and I actually have to drop my shutter speed quite low just to be able to bring back the shadows into the side of the rock. But even then, it was still pretty dark. I had set this to 1/200th of a second, f16 and 320 on my ISO. But still, it was pretty dark in the end anyway. But within editing, I'm still able to bring back the shadows quite a lot and bring back all the detail. So the first thing I want to do here is actually bring up my blacks. I'm holding in the option key just so I can see where the blacks are pretty much, I guess, blown out in a way. And I just want to bring that up just so that there's only slight dots of that left. And then the same with my whites. As you see, the sun is already quite blown out. So I just want to bring it up just slightly, but not too much. Otherwise it's going to be losing a lot of detail in that area. And then what I want to do is bring down my highlights just to bring back the detail within the sky. Already you see the sky is having a lot of detail come back in. And then I just want to warm up my image just slightly, just to bring back the glow from the sun, add a bit more warmth. And then I'm going to bring up my shadows. So this will bring back all the detail within the rocks there. And already you see quite a huge difference compared to it being completely blacked out on the original image, and now bringing up the shadows has brought it back a lot of those details. And I'll add a little bit of clarity into this, not too much, and then I'll also drop down my vibrancy and bring up my saturation slightly. Most people tend to bring up the vibrancy and take down the saturation, but I actually prefer it the other way around, because vibrancy tends to bring out colors that are in the background that you don't see as much in the photo, and I kind of want to boost the colors of the original colors. What I do is go to my sharpening. I tend to put this at around 55 on my sharpening, and then just mask out the areas that don't really need it. So I'm holding an option key again and just bringing it up until the sky is basically unsharpened now. So already that's looking good. I already have my profile corrections on. And then I add a little bit of a vignette, not too much because I don't want to darken out too much, and then just feather it out a little bit. And the one thing, this is my favorite part, so I tend to go straight to the blue primary settings, and on the hue I bring that down a little bit to the left just to kind of bring back those deep reds and oranges. When you have a bit of blue in the image as well, you will start to get a little bit more blue within the image as well, but this one is not having so much blue in, so it's just going to boost up a lot of the reds and the oranges. And then I bring up the saturation slightly, and on the red primary I actually boost it a little bit to the right on the hue just to bring back the oranges and take the pinks away, and drop the saturation just slightly so it's not too overpowering. And the next step, I just want to get rid of these little flares that I got from the sun into the lens, and I'll just use my clone stamp tool, just highlight over those areas. Just mask it out. And then the last thing I want to do is actually bring back the highlights into the rock. So you already see there's some parts of the rock here that are highlighted, but I just want to boost that up a little bit more. So I'll take my brush tool and just go over those areas just to kind of bring back a little bit more detail and brighten it up just slightly, just so there's a little bit more depth to the image. Okay, so once I've highlighted those areas, what I'll do is bring up my clarity a little bit, and you see it already, just with the clarity it brightens things up a lot. Bring up my highlights just slightly, and then I'll actually add shadow back into this, which will just kind of add a little bit more contrast in one way. I can use the contrast as well, but it doesn't do the same kind of thing, it tends to just black things out. But already you see quite a huge difference, and it's added a lot more depth to the image. So that's looking really good right now. One more step I want to do is just brush out this area and darken it just slightly. even though it's in the image, it's a little bit of a distraction, and I kind of want to make it a little bit darker just so it kind of adds a little bit more depth, so you're focusing mainly on the front end. And then just drop the exposure just slightly, not too much, and I'll actually drop the clarity as well just so the detail's not so prominent in that area. And one last thing I want to do is add a little bit of a gradient mask just to the top end of the image, just to kind of bring back the blues in the sky. So I'll just lower the temperature just slightly, and then add a little bit of dehaze just to bring some of those details back that are there. You can already see that's made quite a difference. It looks a little bit more natural. So yeah, that's pretty much about it, and you can see compared to the original image, there's quite a big difference. So the way I've edited it is kind of just to bring back the way I saw it in person, but still give it a little bit of an artistic look to it by adding certain effects and touch-ups. The problem is that the camera will split the differences, so obviously one side is going to just be dark and the other side is going to be bright. And with editing the image, you can kind of bring it back to how your eye actually saw it. So I'm done editing this image, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I actually did it. But generally I'm not posting these videos up on my channel, and it's actually something I'm doing for my Patreons. I'll also do some monthly live streams as well, and there are a few bonuses in there as well, so if you guys are interested, please go over to my Patreon page, and I would love the support. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know what you thought of this edit. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.